We survived, you guys. We survived. Just barely at times, but we made it. Everyone says the first few months is the hardest. They're probably right. And we made it through. Bowie's 3.5 months now, almost 4 months. So we did it, right?
Is that it? And she just goes off to school now?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We've gotten over the tough bit now.
I didn't know that was the tough bit. I thought it was the first year.
Really? Well,
I thought it was the
then.
first year because I thought everybody said the baby just sleeps the first 3 months, which our baby didn't.
And it's a lie.
And then
It's
it
just
gets
a
hard because
bold-faced
then they're
lie.
like moving about, which she is.
Right. Yeah. I guess
She's
when they
out on a
start
hike right now, isn't she?
when they start crawling and walking, things get sketchy again because then you really need to like
Yeah.
watch them like a hawk.
First things first. People might be wondering where Bowie is now. We're very hands-on, yet she's not with us.
She's napping.
She's here.
She's right there.
She's on her own little
That's
TV.
Bowie. Yeah. You guys are watching us and we are watching her at all times.
Yeah.
Some moments I think are definitely like hashtag mom life. And then some moments are just like, ugh. And
I never hashtagged mum life.
no.
No.
You never really either. I wanted to do an update and obviously have Josh involved in the update to share with you guys what the first few months of parenting has looked like for us. To all of the single parents, or not single parents, but whose spouses go back to work pretty immediately after the baby comes home, kudos to you because...
Let's high five for them.
Yes, high five to you guys. High five, guys. Because you rock. There's no way
You're the
could
real
do what
MVPs.
you do. Yeah, you're a hero. Starting with like the first couple of weeks back, as you know, if you follow my channel, I've shared my birth story. I had an unexpected cesarean. Recovering was difficult for me, but also super difficult for Josh because I was unable to feel my body from the waist down for the first 24 hours or so after.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. I couldn't move anyway.
Felt like longer, didn't it?
Yeah, felt like a lifetime. And
I'd never changed a diaper before. I'd never really held a new baby. Until you have your own baby, I don't know. Me anyway, like I didn't really go around holding other people's babies.
No?
No, it wasn't really my thing. Shenae was, immobilized. Is that a word?
yeah,
Oh,
good word.
is it?
Been using that toilet paper again?
I am.
Just kidding.
I was on full mum and dad duty for the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
Not knowing how to hold a baby, not knowing how to change a diaper, not really knowing what to do or say.
How to swaddle.
No.
Nothing like that. And you rocked it. I lucked out though. I did not get a single meconium poop.
Oh yeah, the black
like
poo.
tar, black, sticky, icky poop.
Once you'd had your cesarean, I was like, oh my God, the first thing I thought about was, obviously, are you okay? Baby's okay. Then was black poo, because I'd heard a lot about the black poo.
And
it's
you did
very
it.
sticky. It's like glue.
I hope you guys
You're
have
missing out.
strong stomachs listening
missed
to
out
all
on
this
that.
poop talk. To be fair, I did not change any of the black tar poops, but I have been thrown up on and pooped on way more than you so far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like she saves it especially for me. She does not want to tarnish.
No,
She's daddy's girl. She's like, no, Dad, don't worry. I won't do any of that. I'll just be cute with you. And then I get
You
all
change
the,
more diapers too. You do.
Yeah.
We need to get out more.
We do.
Yeah.
You guys, we really do. I actually leave the house now.
You do now. Last week was the first.
But we are starting to get out now. That took a while because, as you may have heard in one of my previous videos about what I eat in a day, my breastfeeding diet, I talked a little bit about Bowie's experience with quote unquote colic, and I kind of knock colic and just label it as a bit of a myth because in her case, it definitely had to do with tummy intolerances and gut issues that we finally solved at around 6 weeks. And she was a completely different baby. But that first 5-6 weeks, I just want to say, because I know that Hillary Duff posted on her Instagram, I told you about that, speaking out about how her baby was suffering from colic and crying all the time and basically just like reaching out to ask for, reassurance and advice from any other moms out there. I'm sure it's such a common issue. I feel like it's one that not a lot of people talk about because having a new baby is supposed to be just this like joyful, albeit exhausting experience. But when your baby is hysterically crying for like a majority of hours of the day, it is such a gut-wrenching thing to experience. Babies crying is actually like a form of how they like teach the military to survive torture. They like put them in a room, make them listen to babies screaming for hours on end. But as parents, your internal, like the first instinct you have is to go towards them. So it's a sound
I think it's worse as a mum, isn't it? Because you said your stomach would literally...
Yeah, like my scar, I would
contract.
have like pain. Yeah, I guess it was my uterus kind of contracting, and I would be completely drenched in sweat just trying to console her.
Times.
But I think it's important to talk about. I really advise you, if you are at home suffering with a colicky baby, then I really strongly urge you to watch my breastfeeding diet video, because making some really simple transitions to your everyday diet could make a huge impact on your baby's state of being day to day. You know, like I said, there were moments where I really thought like, this is gonna kill me. Exhaustion, and just like complete emotional exhaustion as well, because the crying was so much to handle. You just don't know what to do with yourself. And to be able to turn that corner and find a solution for her problems that really just made Bowie and who she is like finally come to light, because she was just suffering and in pain for all of those weeks. It was a total game changer for us. And, you know, obviously you form bonds in that beginning stage regardless, of course, but I think it really helped her little personality shine, and both of us to really be able to completely enjoy every moment of parenting this new beautiful baby girl who we think is pretty damn perfect. So,
she is perfect.
Yeah, she is.
You've had to give up a lot, haven't you? Let's be real. 5-year baby.
Thanks.
I think I wouldn't have been able to do it. When you were pregnant, you were saying that you were going to have a glass of wine at the hospital to celebrate.
God. I know.
And
still have
skipped
not had
to 3.5
a sip
months.
of alcohol.
No glasses of wine, no chocolate. You love chocolate. No ice cream. You love ice cream. No pizza. You love pizza.
All of the things that you say you're never going to do as a parent before the baby arrives just completely fly out the window once the baby is here. We are currently in the process of actually switching nurseries, because initially when I was pregnant, I was super stubborn in wanting the nursery at the far end of the house that was furthest away from the kitchen and living area and basically where we entertain guests. We always have friends over and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, the baby's entering our world, we're not entering the baby's world, so let's make sure that we can still have friends over and do all of this and whatever. And now that she's 3-4 months and we're kind of like gearing up to put her in her own room, we're like, there's no way we are putting her that far away from us. We want her as close to us as possible. I mean, if she could be like 16 and still sleeping beside me, I probably would end up doing that. But it's important that she has her own space. But I want the nursery super close to us. And I should have listened to you and everybody else who advised me to put the nursery close to us. But again, you don't know how you're going to feel.
I didn't know, did I? I was just suggested we do have a room next to our bedroom.
Yeah.
But whatever, you learn, don't you?
Yeah, you learn.
It's all just a learning curve. You can't be hard on yourself over anything. You're just figuring it out as you go, aren't you?
Yeah. Once you think you have something figured out, then like the next set of, challenges arises.
Like a little roller coaster, but it's the best roller coaster I've ever been on.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's the most alive I've ever felt.
Yeah.
You're up. Like, we work a lot and hard, and I've toured and done all the modelling jobs around the world, and the call times are mental and whatever, and sometimes you don't sleep for a few days. I'm way more awake now than I've ever been. Like, I'm always up.
You're like way more awake and alive and way more exhausted than you
and
ever
so many
thought
different
possible.
Emotions. Yeah, you're like laughing 1 minute, then you're like, you get sort of anxious and frustrated because you see she really wants something but she can't really communicate with you, so you're trying to figure it out, and then there's the sad moments where you're just exhausted and you're feeling
all the feels.
So alive, yeah.
All the feels.
It's mental.
It really is.
It's like the second she arrived for me, again, once we knew you were okay and Bowie was okay, it was like, well, what was I doing before this? Like,
I know.
Like 10 minutes later, I was like, well, I was always meant to be a dad.
Yeah. I feel like when I was
Let's do it again.
I know. I was like, one and done. That's going to be it. I only want one kid. Da, da, da. And I think it was the second day at the hospital. I just looked at you and was like, we're probably going to do this again, aren't we? Like,
definitely. And even through the
sure.
really tough time, it still felt amazing.
Yeah.
You know, nothing is as awful as the first time that you take them to the doctors for their injections.
Oh, yeah.
That is brutal.
That was, I was just like, okay, this is what she needs. Like, we're at a doctor, she's in a safe place. So I went up and, you know, just kind of like tried to be there to console her. But man, you cannot prepare yourself for a little innocent, perfect little baby just screaming, red-faced in like pain, like genuine pain.
I think that she'd had the problems with her stomach, and that was one type of cry. And everybody says there's all different types of crying, and you're like, oh yeah, sure.
You're like, sure.
There definitely is. It's like a crying language.
Yeah.
Now sometimes she cries when she's happy too.
Yeah.
It's like a funny little cry.
Yeah.
It's quite cute. But this was a whole new cry, and it was like literally looking in the eyes, like
help me.
like, why have you brought me in here? Yeah, it was really horrible.
Oh, it was so bad.
She had the injection in the leg, which is great that she had it, but yeah, it was pretty awful.
You were like ready to yell at the doctor.
I was a little bit angry at the doctor because I did say to her before, what should I expect?
Right.
Is it going to hurt her?
Mentally prepare yourself.
You know, she lied. Definitely hurt her. Introducing this legend.
To her little sister. She's been an amazing big sister to Bowie. We were so
Best buddy,
lucky.
really,
Yeah, because I've heard some kind of, I don't know, not so positive stories about dogs being introduced to babies and stuff like that, and, you know, jealousy issues and whatever, but she has been like Bowie's personal watchdog.
Yeah.
Everywhere Bowie is, every room we take her in, Frankie is right there with her.
You can't solely rely on a baby monitor, no matter how expensive it is,
Nope.
how good it is. You know, sometimes, you know, a lot of them are connected to Wi-Fi now.
Which is just not always reliable.
Wi-Fi can drop out. And Frankie is like by the bed. As soon as Bowie starts to stir or cry, comes out and finds us.
Josh is always way calmer than me as a human being in general, but when it's come to the parenting thing, he's definitely carried that on. He is very like level-headed, and I am a lot more just emotional and kind of reactive. That's the word. I think I've been pretty good at learning over the past few months to chill out, because babies sense your mood. They sense when you're like anxious about stuff, and you know, whenever I'm like frustrated, if I've been trying to get her to sleep for an hour and she's just not going down, then it's like, oh yeah, lady, I'm just gonna be here looking at you with my big wide eyes. And then as soon as like super chill Josh comes in, she just falls asleep immediately because she's like calmed by his energy. He got her first smile and laugh. She's recently started to
And
find
don't
me
comment
funny.
saying that was wind. It wasn't wind. Everyone says, oh, it's wind. No, it isn't, because I said something funny and she laughed.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was no smell. Trust me. When Bowie's past wind.
You know. And we're back. The last thing that's worth mentioning about the first few months of parenting is you learn to multitask and time manage like you've never done before. You have to get a lot better at multitasking and managing your time, but again, once she's here, you just like can't imagine life without her. It's crazy. When you don't have a baby, you're like, whoa, that would change life so much. And then you have a baby and you're like, what did we do before you were here hanging out with us?
Bro?
I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit about our first few months as parents.
To summarize, having a baby is no walk in the park.
Nope.
It's hard. Anyone who says it isn't is definitely lying to you. Anyone who says that you can sleep normal after a little bit, that's a lie.
They're lying.
As well, because even if she's sleeping, you're worrying about her. But it's the best thing you can possibly do.
You get this. How could you not just want this? I mean,
It's the best.
It's the best.
Thank you for all the nice words and messages, by the way, because I've never thanked you guys. When we're very sleep deprived and you're going through your Instagram and stuff, and people just sent you a little message, and it does make you feel better, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do really want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart for all of the support that you've shown us as we've expanded our family. I do read all of your messages, and they mean so much to me. All of the support that we get, I'm always
Awesome,
telling
yeah,
him
you guys are great.
how happy it all makes me. So I hope you've benefited from some of the videos I've created on this channel as much as I've benefited from sharing them with you and hearing all of your guys' personal stories. It's amazing to have kind of created this little YouTube community with all of you guys. Bye, guys.
Peace.